What's up, guys? We are looking at a replay review of a Crystal Maiden position 5. This guy is Divine 3, I think. Divine 3, so pretty high MMR. Looks like he's sporting a SF.
30 seconds to battle.
And probably against Centaur. I think there was a Shaman, right? Centaur Shaman, it looks like. So starting on him seems pretty good. You want to start some mangoes. Firefire's like kind of optional, but you know, maybe you'll get away on low HP. It happens. 2 sentries. Are you playing for camps? That makes sense. If they get a pull off, like SF does not want to go contest a pull, so I kind of see that. Kind of slow. Block the hard camp. Checking the small camp. If I start 2 sentries, I'll probably not use both, right? Because like it's okay if the camp doesn't spawn at like 1 minute, as long as you deward it right away. And if it doesn't spawn, then you can use your sentry and make sure you kill their sentry. Versus like if they do it backwards, right? If you plant it down before they've planted theirs down, then you know, if they plant theirs down after and they kill yours, then you're the one who has to buy another sentry, right? Which kind of sucks. And especially if you've already placed this one, where like they might need to be buying another one, or they might use the other one over here. It's just hard for them to do both things. So I don't know, I would usually like. Sometimes I will place this down if I want it right away, and that's if I haven't blocked this camp. I'll like plan to body block it or something. So. Something to consider. It's just a little. I just think it's a little dangerous to like put them both down in terms of like you might just lose out on like the 50 gold. But okay, so you're kind of zoning the Shaman. It's kind of interesting. How do that even work? Doesn't Shaman just like completely out trade you? Apparently not. What is happening? CMOP? Oh, this guy just started boots first and then wasn't actually hitting you. I don't know why he wasn't hitting you. He's got more HP, more armor, and more damage. I mean, you obviously slows attack speed, but okay, that guy just did not trade well. So you punishing that? That's cool. Did your SF start raises? Yeah, he did. If he didn't start raises, I would think about being there to secure the range creep, but maybe you took that into account. Okay, so they unblocked. Farming the pull. I'd probably be like just checking a little bit more often to like see what's going on like in the lane. Like maybe if SF's fine, but I actually am not sure. Okay, so you definitely should have body blocked this camp, the big camp here. Like if this was important enough for you to like put the sentry down and preemptively block it, like now that there's no like you didn't have to let this camp spawn. Like that was 100% in your control. Zoning this Shaman again, but like the point of zoning him was that you could get like. Ensure that he doesn't body block your camp and that you can block his camp. So it's decent that you're looking to pull here. The Shaman is like really just like letting you do whatever the fuck you want. This is nice. You're doing this well. Just like a better pause forward would be like not really allowing this, but that's fine. I really like the way you're playing so far though, for the most part. You're like you don't have a ton of kill threat on the Centaur. You're playing for the pulls well for the most part. Maybe you're good at nuke? It's definitely worth using a nuke there to, like, get your shit. Okay, so... What did you buy on the courier? Looks like it died. I don't know how to look at your courier. Hold on. Just want to address this before... We have a stick, another mango, another sentry. Not sure you need the extra mango? The stick and the sentry I get. I don't know if you need the mango. Maybe you just had the gold and wanted to spend it. I'm not gonna play that too hard, but... Yeah, so just kind of trading with the Shaman with your mana. Oh, nice kill. Alright, so you're going to body block the big camp? Stack into body block the big camp would be like the ideal support play here. No, you're just letting it spawn. Okay, so you're not worried about the pull. Maybe you're not worried about the pull, though. Like, maybe you're not worried about them pulling. But given that you have this stack here, like, this stack is going to obliterate the next, like, creep wave or even 2 creep waves, right? So, like, the only thing they can do while it's happening is possibly pull. So that's why I wouldn't want this to be here. I could, like, see the mentality of, like, oh, I might want to use it later. But you could still have blocked it now and then let it spawn at, like, 5 if you think you want to use it then, or if you think you want to start stacking for your SF or something. Just my thoughts on that. Maybe you saw that Shaman had rotated away already and that they weren't going to be using it? Not really sure. I would be kind of looking top, like, while that was happening. Like, given that the Shaman was there. Like, when did you have eyes when it was happening? So, like, they're, like, doing stuff up here. And if it doesn't really look like you would need to, like, go, right? Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're fine. But, like, I would, like, if you're watching this, right? Like, if you were watching this, you could be like, oh, I could, like, maybe, like, TP in here, right? Maybe not, right? Helping an Enigma's, like, maybe pretty trash. So, I wouldn't, like, mind if you didn't show up, but could be looking. It just knows you're not, like, looking around at, like, what's happening. Like, you're not looking at the lane. You're not really checking out what's going on mid. Because you're not, like, doing a lot else, right? This lane's not super contentious. You're mostly just getting, like, chill stacks off. So, just monitoring a little bit what's going on would probably be more helpful. Just thinking about boots now. Where's your courier? Why don't I see it? I don't know, I'm blind. I don't know where your courier is. It says it's alive. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you have boots and your wand. So this SF doesn't need your help, so you're kind of looking to rotate away. Okay, so you're going to help with a 6-minute rune. This seems reasonable to me. Trying to tell your lone druid to, like, go for the other rune, and he doesn't. What are you going to do? Yeah, it looks like top's not going well. I definitely would be, like, trying to, like... I would be considering, like, trying to participate in, like, whatever's going on top, given that you don't really... You're not really doing a whole lot bottom. It's nice. Very nice. Before SF. Definitely be keeping my eye on, like, what's going on. Like I'm just looking at the map right now. Like, right, you're just chilling. Like, your Marshy's kind of set up on mid. Like, doesn't this Zeus just die? Like, he almost just dies to these 2 heroes. Like, if you show up, he definitely dies, right? So, these are the kind of things you want to monitor. Like, if you're, like, that extra body. Like, what is this guy do? Like, this guy should be dead. This guy should be dead. I'm just looking at the mini-map. The fact that this Zeus has come onto your guys' side of the river while Marshy's sitting right there. Like, you can, like, TP. You have the mangoes for the mana, right? One spell that you cast, this guy's 1,000% dead. And, you know, it doesn't happen. And you've got to have, like, really good awareness to, like, make things like that happen. Like, where is the enemy, like, stepping out of position, right? So, just look to increase your awareness a bit. It looks like you're really just not looking around the map at all. Granted, it's a little bit easier for me since I'm, like, playing in the replay. But, like, your enigma's getting dove right now, right? And we're just not even looking with our eyes. Like, your camera movement is just not checking out what's going on. Like, I don't think you need to be in this lane anymore. You should, like, be dropping a ward here somewhere in obs for your SF. Like, if he doesn't buy it himself. And then you should be kind of bailing. Like, SF doesn't have to stay in this lane. Like, yeah, it's going decent. But if they were to bring, like, 3 heroes here, like, they brought Shaman and Dazzle with Centaur, like, they kind of just kill you guys anyways. I mean, maybe. It's pretty behind, but... Like, you being down here is kind of a target for them, I think. I think you could be more effective helping your Enigma, pressuring their, you know, looking to make a play on the Zeus, right? Your CM's got really high aggressive potential early, and you're kind of not taking advantage of that. You know, the Centaur's just, like, chilling. That's cool. I mean, you're kind of, like, taking advantage of their mess-ups, but if the enemy was playing better, like, it feels like your impact on this game would be, like, really low. Like, you're still not looking top. Like, stuff has been happening top. You should... we're, like, 8-9 minutes. We're, like, almost 9 minutes. If you're a pause 5 and you're, like, carries, like, kind of doing pretty good and, like, you're not doing a whole lot in your lane, like, you should be looking to rotate away. I'm not saying you have to if, like, everything else is, like, trash or just nothing's happening anywhere else. But you should definitely be looking to rotate away, and you're just not looking. Which is just kind of weird. Like, trying to tell your SF to farm the stacks, I guess? But, like stuff's happening. Stuff's happening in the other lanes, man. Okay, now you finally TP. It's kind of a weird TP because your Enigma was, like, dying. It's like nice that you're here now, but cool kill, Eidolon's good. Going for a Glimmer. Against a Zeus, it seems reasonable. It's nice. Nice. I can see this. That was pretty cool. So we actually were paying attention back to our old lane. Yeah, nice. So we're like paying attention here, which is really nice. Good awareness. This good build is fine. Oh, Marcy's here. I think like having some smokes would be nice because like you like at this point, like when you're here with Marcy, or when Marcy shows up, he wasn't here originally. But, like Marcy's here. So like only two things can happen here. One is that you guys fight somebody that comes bottom. Like you're either diving them or like they show up with more heroes and then you choose to fight them, right? That is an option. Or two, you guys go somewhere else. And like neither of you have TPs. And if you need to go somewhere else in this situation, you kind of just need to have a smoke. Like it can work if you choose just walk this way, but a lot of times there'll be a ward somewhere. Or it'll just be slow. The speed from the smoke helps. I really like to have smokes early game. You guys have 3 available. I think that you should definitely have smokes. Like, it's not just the position 4's job to buy smokes. If I'm an aggressive position 4, I'll just buy them all. But if your position 4 is not buying them all, you can definitely buy them on 5. I would have liked you to have a smoke because this exact situation calls for a smoke, I think. Instead, you wander mid. Marcy chills bottom. So you want to be on the same page as your other support. You plus Marcy showing up in any lane is super high kill threat. You guys separated are, like, not as effective. Like, you two together with another core are, like, extremely dangerous. So I just want to be on the same page as this Marcy. And, like, that's what a smoke can help with, too. It's like, okay, are we going to stay here, Marcy, or are we going to go somewhere else? Like, let's do something together. Like, who are you going to make plays with this game? It's kind of around Marcy, and, like, the two of you with any of your cores is usually enough to do shit. Okay, so you're, like, buying items. So you, like, wandered back bottom. There's just, like, a really ineffective use of your guys' time. I guess you're fine, like, just farming? But like, this is the classic, like, I feel like this when I play some, like, lower MMR, like, unranked games where I feel like nothing's happening. When I'm a core, and I'm like, why is something happening? And I'm looking at the map, and it's because both my supports are, like, chilling bottom under our safe lane tower, not doing anything. Like, this is what causes nothing to happen in games. And when nothing happens in games, the enemy can do whatever the fuck they want. So, like, even though you're doing well, I mean, you're 4-0 and 4. Your SF's doing well. Oh, your mouse is, like, in the way. That's funny. Your SF's doing really well. Your Lundra's doing fine. He hasn't died. Like, your Enigma, you know, died a couple times. They died a couple times top, but, like, your Enigma has farm and kills, right? He's got a Blink Dagger, for fuck's sake. Like, you need to do something. Like, where the supports go, determine where the action happens, and if the supports just sit bottom like this is on both of you, then it's just really trash. Like, it's just really bad map layout. The enemy can do whatever they want. Just, like, dive mid, free farm on Luna. Luna's power farming right now. And, you know, like, you look a little desperate here for, like, just nothing's happening. It's really sad. You weren't sitting behind an important objective. or objective taker. Now that you're mid, it's like a little better. But like having those smokes really like enables you to like make those movements. Smoke away from bottom with the Marcy, right? Go do something on the map. Like if you've scared them away, like, right, you guys had zoned them out is what had happened. You'd zone them out, they were farming under their tower, they were not being aggressive on you guys bottom right, and the enemy doesn't really want to heads up fight you, so if they see both your supports down there, they're gonna like dodge, right? They're not gonna show up here, so go somewhere else, and then if the enemy like feels confident enough to like then walk back into lane, you can go back bottom later and like pressure if you want. But like you need to like go somewhere else in the first place, and you just like really didn't for like a while. It's like a really weird play from you. Yeah, I mean you're not a Marcy, so your positioning needs to be behind your cores. Yeah, this is kind of a nuts play. I see you like wanted your LD to like get that right, but don't put yourself like way out of position like that. Like if he's gonna get it, he's gonna get it, regardless of whether you're like there in front of it or not, right? Okay, so you're walking out of base, watching what's happening here. I don't mind you not TPing like with the outposts. Like I don't think you would have been there in time to do anything. So I think this is fine, actually. I'd like to see you go mid here and like push it out a little bit with your max Q. Put ward down, that's nice. Sitting mid, it's not too bad. Had some sort of rotation from SF coming in. I actually didn't see that happening. Oh, SF's going from the top. So if I'm the SF, I'll usually say something because I know that people aren't always watching. I'm not always watching. But if you had really high awareness, you'd notice this SF coming. Oh, he's got a Shadow Blade too. Like this should definitely be a kill. So just a little bit poor awareness from you, but honestly, I probably would have done the same thing, so I can't blame you too hard. But again, it's just like an awareness thing. Being aware of like what your cores are trying to do. Yeah, I really want you to be on the same page as this Marcy a little bit more. So you like came mid, your SF did this dodge thing. I would just be following my Marcy around. The Marcy is like kind of the playmaker. You help him, and then whatever core you guys are around can also participate. But like you sitting with SF does not like net a kill on like anybody anymore. I mean, it did on Centaur earlier when he was playing like a moron, but you're paying a lot of attention to runes, which is good. But yeah, you're just like not doing anything here. And when it feels like you're not doing anything, just make sure that you're with the person who like wants to do things, which on your team is the Marcy. Sometimes it's your offlaner, sometimes it's your pos 4, sometimes it's your mid. Okay, so you're shoving this out. You definitely don't need to be, what you need to do here is you need to nuke this out and clear it right, but you don't actually need to, like, take this farm. It's actually really dangerous to, like, try and secure these CS. This is the most dangerous tiny square on the whole map right here. And it's just too dangerous to be here. If you want to walk up and hit this range creep and then, like, walk away, that'd be fine. But even just nuking it once, it's not about the farm. This farm is not important to you. What's important is that it's pushing into them and not you. So you could have nuked this once and then immediately walked away and, like, try to connect with the Marcy or something. Like, do something else, right? Sitting here trying to farm it aggressively, like, you need to be, like, back here, hoping they are not about to go on you. And your positioning here is just, like, really bad. It's really bad. Nice little attempt, but the, almost got him. Just canceled your shit. Your Marcy somehow died. So yeah, like, your laning was decent. You played for the camps pretty well. They didn't play it particularly well. You didn't really look to, like, leave early enough. Like, you really, if you're having a lane that goes kind of like that, where you're just having less impact, you can definitely leave, like, around, like, 7-ish minutes. You can look to rotate away, and you just weren't even looking to rotate. So the first thing I need you to do is look to rotate, and then we can talk about, like, your decisions on where you go or don't go. But you weren't even looking, which is the first thing. You've got a TP here. You're TPing to outpost to save your Lone Druid. It doesn't work. It's rip. Yeah, Marcy TP top, so not only so much you can do about that. They're, like, kind of running over you guys now. A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, this positioning on your part, I think you have to give this up, actually. Like, once Marcy, like, basically, like, is dead. She's almost dead, right? You can't walk forward like this. Like, you're not a body. You're just a backline spellcaster whose job it is to get as many Qs and Ws off as possible without dying. So you're just way out of position there. Like, you just have to recognize you're giving up the tower and just wait. Especially when they had the sentry on your SF. It was like trying to go for some cheeky play and it didn't work. So we're respawning. We're taking our time here. In terms of items, smokes again? Like, you just have smokes at this point. Like, I'm definitely buying these smokes out. You've got some wards, you could buy them more. It's not a huge deal. You could consider buying another raindrop. I don't hate if you don't want to get it, especially because you got a glimmer, but it is really good against Zeus and Shaman.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Doing some dewarding action. That's unfortunate. That went okay, considering you guys are behind now. Wow, the jukes. The jukes.
Radiant's top tower is under
I
attack.
think that was reasonable from you, the way that played out, though.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Queuing up the Force Staff. Force Staff's okay. How's your Enigma going? It's going Greaves. Other options you could consider are drums. Both your cores really like drums. Marcy does too. Marcy doesn't really have any items. Drums, Vlad's. That's pretty much it, I think. And Force. Force is reasonable. It's okay. It's just like, are you just... I guess you're just looking to force like somebody who gets like Shaman. Or like if they're like chasing somebody down, you can like force them away from like the Zeus or something, I guess. Alright, so we're deep pushing mid. It's like reasonable. Still no smokes. I mean, somebody's buying them now. Marcy's buying them, but as position 5 is either 4 or 5. Doesn't matter which I'm playing. I'm always buying the smokes. Like, I'm not relying on my 4 to buy them when I'm playing 5. Let's slow down and watch like whatever's happening here. Maybe we'll wrap it up. It's hard to tell. You're not like looking at anything. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. What is your positioning here? So your team's doing some kind of psycho shit. I'm not really sure what your pathing is though. Like, you should be looking to be behind what your team's doing, even if it's weird. Right? Don't be the support that's off doing his own thing in no man's land for no reason, right? Like, you should be here casting a spell. Okay, so... we're finally connecting. We went the long way around. Marcy already died, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you being there would have been, like, a huge difference. Maybe it wouldn't have been. What is this? What the fuck? It's the most baller thing I've ever seen in my life. This Shaman's got a 22-minute refresher orb. Holy moly. Wow. What a replay. Yeah, so what happened in this game is that you guys did pretty well in the lanes, and then nothing happened. And Luna, like, just power farmed. Zeus was happy to farm. Centaur caught up. And, you know, you guys have to execute well around, like, Black Hole. Or otherwise I think you just kind of fell behind. Like, if we just, like, just want to actually just take a look at the net worths. So, like, at 12 minutes, let's go even earlier. Or maybe let's just look at the graphs. Can we look at the graphs for this game? No, I don't want to delete it. So it was like even until like 15-ish, and then it just started going in their favor consistently. But we were doing well. Actually, they were doing well. I don't know. Don't put too much stock in win probability. We had like a very tiny, tiny lead, 2K maybe at the most. Right until 15. And then... Yeah, and then they just farm. Where are we here in this game? Oh, well, I just rewinded. I think we were around 22. That's where we were at. Yeah, and then they were just happy to like continue farming and trade farm, and their Zeus and Centaur were just farming more than your Enigma and LD. And I think you guys just missed like a window of aggression where you guys just weren't doing a lot. And I think that you could have broken down the lanes earlier and left and pressured more, and then played with your Marcy more to like ensure stuff happens. There's a lot of really weird down periods that I feel like is pretty common, and this is all like predicated on the movements or lack of movements that the supports are making. Even with like cores like Enigma or like SF, which like it's hard to like gank for them. Actually, Enigma's decent these days. Like if he has Eidolons and has Malefice, like heroes just die. But yeah, I think your movement could have been a lot better, and that stems from the awareness in the first place of what's happening in the other lanes and willingness to leave your lane when nothing else is happening. And yeah, making plays with your playmaker, like recognizing that the Marcy is the person that you needed to play with, and then playing with him consistently and being like, hey, dude, let's go do something, right? Don't play away from him and then like be surprised when nothing happens. Let me see if you had any notes about this game. Seeing what I should do to help my team more, movements around the map, warding, laning, whatever. Yeah. So I think we covered a lot of that. I think the biggest weaknesses I saw here was your lack of awareness of what was happening in the other lanes, and your lack of like willingness to go participate in the other lanes when you were like not doing a lot bottom for a while, and then not playing with the Marcy and looking to like make moves, like buy those smokes and, you know, go do shit. CM plus Marcy is like a terrifying support combo to just show up in a lane and gank literally anybody with like one of your cores help. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions about it, and yeah, thanks for signing up. Hey, thanks for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the content, and if you want to be coached by me, check the link in the description to my Discord. There's all the information there on how to sign up.